We have reached what I call the Super Bowl stretch, which is the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl. I can't think of anything else happening before then besides the NFL honors. Can you guys? I mean,
Maybe Luke does.
yeah, Luke, do you have any thoughts on it?
It's really awkward that I'm not really sure what you're talking about right now.
The Pro Bowl.
Oh,
What do you think, Luke?
well, those are my thoughts. I know you're going to tr try to get me to scream on camera like 3 years. I don't quite have the voice for that right now. That's even funnier. The fact that it was literally not coming to mind.
Yeah, I mean that's
The,
can't rate it any better, honestly.
Yeah.
the memories made in the
How
dorm
many
room of
call
Harmony
two?
Hall.
What was it? 245?
Yep,
Harmony Hall, man.
with our Five Below bot mic that day.
I remember that day. We're gonna reminisce on camera a little bit. We were like, not sure we can do a Super Bowl episode. I'm like, I'm driving to Five Below. I'm getting like a $5 camera
Yeah,
and a little furry mic, and we made it happen. So
Yeah.
that was the first time we talked about the Pro Bowl. Here we are today, and I couldn't even remember
I'm,
that it was a thing.
I'm
I'm pretty
sure the
sure.
feelings stay the same.
Yeah, I just got out of Spanish and I was walking to the bistro and I saw y'all like chopping it up on Snapchat and I was like, you know what? I'll just let them cook. I'm sure we'll figure something
We
out.
figured it out, and here we are,
So,
Yep.
still going strong.
all right. Well, as always, we're your host, Adam.
Dante,
And fan of the Super Bowl representative from the AFC, New England Patriots, Luke.
Congratulations.
congrats.
First ever WG Super Bowl berth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And it's the team that ruled the Super Bowl from the AFC all those years. The evil empire appears to be back.
first order.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot to talk about today, and it's going to start with some reactions from Dante as we get into some hires before the awards segment of the episode. And we start with Dante's reaction on the newest Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. Dante, take it away.
yeah. Pittsburgh Steelers after a couple weeks, after a couple weeks separate from Mike Tomlin stepping down as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach after 19 seasons, hire a guy from just down the street, Mike McCarthy. And at first, I mean, going back to last episode, you guys saw, um, I was basically like, this is like worst case scenario. And I said I wanted Chris Shula or Nate Shieldhouse, and for whatever reason, those guys just aren't getting hired. Like I'm sure we'll get into it, but the Browns hired Todd Monken before those guys, which
Yeah.
is just insane. Um, but I'll get to that later. And on to Mike McCarthy. I was really upset whenever I found out that he was the head coach. I was driving with my girlfriend in the car, and I said we got effing Mike McCarthy, and my girlfriend, not really, but just now getting into football. She's like, "Oh, that's good." I said, "No, no, it's bad." But then I sat on it, and it is going to be different, and it is as much as it is an older coach, it is modernization, at least a little bit, shifting to an offensive-minded guy, a guy who could develop quarterbacks, a guy who's had success on the offensive side of the ball, and a guy who knows how to win. He's had success everywhere he's been. Lack of playoff success, which has been a common theme with the Steelers as well. But a couple 12-win seasons in Dallas, and we obviously know what success he had in Green Bay, winning a Super Bowl over the Pittsburgh Steelers at that. Um, yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for McCarthy. He seems to be really interested in developing Will Howard, which I'm all for. Um, how much you'll get out of a six-round pick, I don't know. But I'm willing to take the shot. It's really a win-win. Either you find your franchise guy and he's good, or we're not so good and we can land a franchise guy next year. It's really low risk, high reward for Will Howard. But yeah, Mike McCarthy loved his press conference, and I'm excited to see what the Steelers do. Uh, I'm just excited for unpredictability from watching my team, not knowing what the end result's going to be every year. Um, yeah, and if we do go 9-8 or 10-7 next year and get bounced in the first round, the likelihood of it happening the year after, not as likely as it would if Mike Tomlin was still here. But yeah, Mike McCarthy, we'll see how it goes. Not bad.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think I just want to make one comment. I think a lot of the criticism of him is like, oh, all of his success in Green Bay, he had Aaron Rodgers, even in past offensive coordinator terms, and obviously his time in Dallas, he had Dak Prescott, and a lot of the people have pointed to the quarterbacks and some of the weapons he's had for his top five offenses. And I think one of the big things has been like, oh, he needs a franchise quarterback to even be like a remotely, you know, competent head coach. I think that's a bit ridiculous. Oh, it's like broaden that term to like, oh, he needs a franchise quarterback to produce winning results. How many head coaches is that not true for?
Exactly.
Kyle Shanahan, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, Kevin O'Connell, maybe. Kevin Stefanski, like once. Um, like it's yes, you need a franchise quarterback to have a successful football team. So
Yep.
that's not like I think that the ceiling for Mike McCarthy is probably a bit higher than we originally thought, and the floor is not a bad thing. The Steelers could use a couple losses here and there where they didn't have them before.
Yep. Adam, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I forget exactly when I saw it. I think I was like, shaving the beard a little bit. I picked up my phone and I was like, okay. I wasn't like, I wasn't mad or anything. I knew at first I thought, oh, I don't know how Dante's gonna feel. Then I was like, okay. Like on paper, at first it didn't seem like the super motivating move, but I was like, it's not the worst thing ever. It appears safe. It appears like they took the safe option, but like we were talking about, there's got to be a reason why Shula, Shieldhouse, all these young guys aren't getting hired.
Yeah.
Maybe they truly had bad interviews, or
That's
their
that's what I've heard.
their egos were too high to where they didn't really care for their interviews because they went in assuming they had the job.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, McCarthy is a safe option. I say that his picture is just staring me in the face here.
Dude, he's goaded. Look at
Um,
him.
what'd you say?
He's goaded. Look at him.
He is goaded
That
like
suit
that.
does not fit, but it's all good.
Yeah. I think it's a cool story.
Yeah.
You bring the Pittsburgh guy home. You saw in his opening press conference how passionate he is, how emotional he got over just being back in Pittsburgh. But yeah, I mean, I think time's going to tell here. A lot of these other hires on the staff are going to have to, be right. And I see he's hiring a lot of his guys, a lot of his connections, which I think could work out, if they're all working together. It's going to be, time will tell. It's going to see, we're going to have to see how they construct this roster, what he decides to do. I'm intrigued. I think it can work out. I think it at least means the Steelers are going to be in the hunt next year because you don't bring in a guy like Mike McCarthy if you're trying to win 5 or 6 games and
Hmm.
tank for a top pick. Mike McCarthy is a guy that will want to win, and he's won wherever he's gone. It's just going to be about, figuring out the rest of the team, how it all pieces together. But I'm intrigued, I'm excited, and I hope it works out. So
We're
So
done.
my question, and I think the elephant in the room is for you, Dante.
Hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, yes or no? Run it back, or let's just move on.
Hmm. I'm going back and forth on
Yeah.
it. In all honesty, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him back since the quarterback, pool in this upcoming draft is rather weak outside of Mendoza, and we do have a young quarterback already on the staff. It really comes down to, do you want 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers back or do you want to try to develop Will Howard? I'm going back and forth on it. I would honestly rather want to develop Will Howard, but 1 year under Aaron Rodgers is good. 2 years is even better for Will Howard. You saw Jordan Love 2 years under Will Howard. I mean, under Aaron Rodgers. Um, then again, he was a first round pick. Will
Yeah.
Howard was a sixth. But nevertheless, still learning under one of the best quarterbacks of all time. So I'd welcome him back with open arms. I just it is still February. So I mean, I still have to wrap my head around everything that just happened this past season. But yeah, I would take Aaron back. I wouldn't be upset.
it's all fun and
Jordan,
games until
Jordan
the
Love
Steelers.
learning under Will Howard. Interesting.
Yeah,
I
he
was going to
did.
say, it's all fun and games until the Steelers draft Drew Aller.
Oh, hey,
Raw's
that
prospect,
would
he does have potential. He does.
that would be where the fun and games end. All
Yeah.
right, that's Mike McCarthy.
Yep.
We have three more hires that have happened. The Titans brought in Robert Saleh. Interesting story again. Kind of got the bad end with the Jets. Rebuilt his stock this year with the Niners as their DC again, and now gets a nice opportunity with Tennessee where he'll have Brian Dable as his offensive coordinator. Speaking of OCs, the Bills promoted theirs. Joe Brady will be their next head coach after their owner said, yeah, it's the coaching staff's fault that they lost. So let's promote from within. Great decision there. And the Browns hiring Todd Monken, who's 59 years old, hasn't had head coaching experience since like Georgia Southern, and I don't even know when. Was the OC of Georgia's national championship teams a couple years ago. Was the OC for Lamar Jackson's second MVP. So was also the OC during Freddie Kitchens' lone season in Cleveland. What a great year that
That's a
was.
name.
Oh,
Oh
But
my God.
um, yeah, did y'all know he was like, I think he was Bill Belichick's OC this year at North Carolina, but
Todd
Freddie
Monken?
Kitchens? No, Freddie
Oh,
Kitchens.
Freddie Kitchens.
I'm 90%
I would
sure.
explain. That's a not gonna interrupt here, but that's a bit of a hot topic. Bill Belichick missing the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame in his first year of eligibility.
Yeah.
But
That's not even
anyways,
something to dwell on because we all know what the correct way to feel about that is.
Yeah.
it's
But
awful decision. Um, but yeah.
yeah, these
You
other
guys,
hires, yeah.
do you guys have any thoughts on these hires? Like, I think Saleh could be interesting, especially like I said, Dable's coming in. Titans are gonna have the most cap space in the league. Second year of Cam Ward. The Browns, I don't really know what to think. I mean, I'm not. I mean, they should just be happy someone gave them the yes for head coach. Bills, I don't think will all of a sudden be bad, but I don't think promoting from within was the best idea.
I, you mind if I talk about that?
Yeah, yeah,
Go
go
for it.
ahead.
Why would you move off Sean McDermott then? Like literally,
Agreed.
it's a lateral move. If anything, it's a downgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I just don't, it's baffling to me that, and I predicted this last week. I said Joe Brady. I I really don't understand it. I think he is a competent offensive coordinator. I guess maybe he is a Josh Allen merchant. We're gonna find out. But it seems like a real lateral move on the verge of a downgrade, maybe even
You
a
know,
downgrade for
you
me.
know why they got Joe Brady is because that's the guy Josh Allen probably wanted. They let
Yeah,
Allen play a big role in this head coaching search,
He's
and
gonna get what he's asking for.
sometimes, yeah, I get it. He's the star player. He deserves to say it, but sometimes you just got to trust your staff to let them make the right calls. I mean, look at Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. He wanted them to pay T. Higgins, and that's great. But look at the defense the Bengals have. Joe Burrow has to put up 50 points a game if he wants to win. Sometimes you just got to let the staff do things. I don't think this is going to work out the way Bills fans want it to. I don't think they're all of a sudden going to miss the playoffs continuously, but
they're not going to
don't
be as good.
don't trust them to get past like the divisional round every single year.
If I'm a Pats fan, I'm, foaming at the mouth at
Yeah.
this
So
point.
yeah, that's exactly it. The thing is, it'll just come down to the only way it's an upgrade is if he's a better leader of men, which is such a
Which he's not.
which is
I
such
can tell
a
you right now, he's
BS
not.
buzzword, by the way. Um, if that's like 1980s football. This is just it is baffling. I think that's the word you used. But Adam's right. It's Josh Allen was in on these interviews. He was told to have a say. Um, yeah, I don't get it because what's how does he improve that offense? Literally, he can't. It's his offense.
Wait,
Um, I I don't get that. I would actually prefer to say I think that Robert Saleh. I think that's a slam dunk, especially with Brian Dable. I think that's look in the most cap space in the league. They're not going to do what we just did, but I think they're the next Patriots jump, Bengals jump. I think they could be competitive in their division next season. I think that they uh, a round of applause on all fronts to the Titans, and they're going to get new uniforms. So, and they're getting a new stadium in a couple years. So, I think that franchise is doing all the right things right now. I think that's a good hire. And the Browns, well, that was the one thing that was interesting. You were mentioning Shula and Steelhouse. The rumor was that they were telling all these interviewers. First of all, did we hear about the wild process they were putting people through?
oh my God.
You had to write an essay of why you want to be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns,
Who do you think you are,
and you
man?
had to do personality quizzes. Of course.
Like,
But the fact that I was about to bring up was the word was that they were telling people, we're not going to allow you to bring in your own defensive coordinator. We're keeping Schwartz.
yeah.
So, but now the thing is, there are reports that Schwartz is, pardon my language, but pissed off. It's like, if I'm so important, I view myself as a better candidate than Monken. Like,
Yes.
what the heck's going on? So
He's a better DC than Monken.
he might
Why would
walk
you?
out of the door. So the Browns are browning. And I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm going to return the favor. As a Steelers fan, you're a bit foaming at the mouth there.
Yeah. I mean, I was really worried they were going to get Shieldhouse and just like
Yeah.
maybe win 7 games this time.
Me
But
too.
Going back to Robert Saleh, I was a little confused. Well, not confused. He's obviously a really good coach. I was just a bit like, whenever they initially hired him because like you have a number one overall pick. If I'm a number one overall pick at quarterback that you need to develop, if I'm Tennessee, I'm thinking, why would you not go offensive minded head coach to try to develop him better? But then they went and got Dable, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that makes sense now. You
Mhm.
have a guy that could develop. And then
Yeah.
for the Browns with Monken, I can't say I'm surprised. I'm a little shocked, but I'm not surprised, if that makes sense. It seems like a really Browns move. Um, yeah, very funny. You want to hire the guy who didn't give Derrick Henry the ball for an entire fourth quarter this year. Um, your head coaching position, I don't get it. It's not going to work out. Um, and the Browns will remain in the basement and will probably still lose to them in Cleveland next year. And at the game
Probably.
I will be at. But
Probably.
Browns is the Browns. All right.
All
I'm
right.
going to move on if you guys want to.
yeah.
Go for it.
And now we get
Yeah.
into the NFL honors. That is right.
Of course.
They are, at the time of this recording, a week from tonight, always the Thursday before Super Bowl Sunday. So we're going to do our annual WG tradition, who we think should and who we think will win every single award, starting with the inaugural Protector of the Year award given to the best offensive lineman. About time they have one of these. These guys deserve the recognition, and I'm glad they're finally getting it. Let's go over the nominees for this, listed from left to right. We have Garrett Bowles, Broncos tackle, Aaron Brewer, Dolphins center, Creed Humphrey, Chiefs center, Quinn Meinertz, Broncos guard, Penei Sewell, Lions tackle, and Joe Thuney, Bears guard. I guess I'll start and I'll keep it easy here. I don't know a lot about offensive linemen. And I believe this is the guy I predicted to win the award before the year. So I'm just going to stick with my gut and say the guy I think should and will win is Penei Sewell. So I'll just leave it at that.
I'll go next. I think Peninsula will win, but I'm going to go with Joe Tooney should. Bears offensive line was good, and that was a big key reason in Caleb Williams' success this year. And Joe Tooney was the cornerstone of that offensive line. One of the most underrated pickups of this past offseason. Joe Tooney was great, so I think he should win it.
I'm right with you, Dante. I got some stats pulled up here. 2024, it was the big thing for Caleb Williams. The red flag was he took 4 sacks a game. Now, you bring in Ben Johnson, obviously he's going to scheme him into some better protections. But that was dead last in the NFL last year, 4 sacks a game. Only Cleveland and Houston were in striking range with 3.9 and 3.4. This year, do you want to guess who took the least sacks per game?
Caleb,
That would be Caleb Williams, 1.3 per game. An unreal change. So I am absolutely with you, Dante. Should be Tooney, but I would probably go as far as to say it'll be Penei Sewell, even though I don't think it should be because look at the uh, run game they had this year. It's worse than last year. I know you lose Ben Johnson. There are certain things, but like I just think that one thing, the sacks this year, getting those all the way down, it paved the way for them to make the run that they did.
I also want to say this before we move on. Why does it seem like Creed Humphrey's forehead is photoshopped onto his body?
It's like it's hand line. Like where a hat, he probably has like a look at that guy. He looks like he lives on a farm, so
Oh, I see.
he's probably wearing like a trucker hat out in the fields all day. If,
Yeah.
if you're listening and not watching, this is going to be awfully strange.
Yeah, anyway.
Creed Humphrey has a tan line where
Yeah,
a hat would end. So
yeah.
could
Yeah.
like hats this guy's tan.
I mean, when I was making this, I literally just copy and pasted his headshot from Google.
Yeah,
So
no.
that's
Interesting
the first
shout.
thing I could find.
Yep.
All right. Well, anyways, moving on to the assistant coach of the year. Now, I couldn't find headshots for these guys, so I got a little creative with some picture options here.
Yeah, I see that.
You've got Vic Fangio, Eagles DC, wearing a Phillies hat. Go Phils. You've got Brian Flores, Steelers legend there in his Steelers gear, obviously the DC of the Vikings. You got Vance Joseph, the DC of the Broncos, Clint Kubiak, OC of the Seahawks, and Josh McDaniels, OC of the Pats, with
It's
the
not
banner
actually McDaniel's
that,
ninth Super Bowl, is it? Is
according to that, it is. That's via DraftKings, so
that
um,
right?
it
I
might
didn't
just
know.
be.
Like I wouldn't have. It might be. Was he almost all of the Brady?
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind.
I should know this.
Don't forget the ones he lost too.
No, I know that, but
Anyways, um, Dante, you want to start for this one?
Yeah. Um,
yeah, it is. It is not. I'm sorry. Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that many. All right.
You're good.
Go
this
ahead.
one's tough. I think, hmm,
If you don't know, I'll go.
I think Brian Flores is going to win it. It just seems like that would happen. It seems like he's overdue for an assistant coach of the year, but I think Clint Kubiak should. The what he was able to do with that Seahawks offense with up until late in the year, their only real offensive weapon being JSN, who is such a stud. We'll talk about him in a minute. And building off of what Sam Darnold did in Minnesota, I think he should definitely get a shout. But I think, actually, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who I think's going to win it, but I think Clint Kubiak should definitely be considered. I guess I'll say that.
Yeah, I'll go. I have Kubiak as my will win.
Okay,
I
cool.
think I think like you said, the same reasons what he was able to do with the Seahawks offense this year, just bring them to new heights under Sam Darnold. But I think the should is a guy that's not on this list, and that's Robert Saleh, DC of
Mm,
the Niners. I mean, I looked at some of their stats today. Middle of the pack defense, I get it, but that team, I believe, went 11-6. It might have even been 12-5 with Nick Bosa missing most of the year, Fred Warner missing most of the year.
yes.
And look at all he got out of that defense.
Hmm.
The fact that he's not even nominated to me is insane. I don't know who I'd put in. I don't know who I'd put him in over. I guess maybe Fangio, but yeah, um, he is without a doubt my should win. I do want to shout out Josh McDaniels though. If it wasn't going to be Saleh, it was going to be McDaniels. What he was able to do with his New England offense this year was amazing. I'm sure Luke will get into that more in a second, but yeah, yeah, that's my those are my two.
I'm really actually not going to get into that because I don't. His name's not going to come up for me. I think should win. Probably is Clint Kubiak. I agree. And I was going back and forth a bit. That offense was just so impressive. Um, Vance Joseph is pretty close for me. Like
Yeah.
I struggle to name more than two or three guys on that Denver defense. And the altitude, what does that really contribute? I mean, it's something, but we won there. He led maybe the best defensive unit in the league. I certainly think he should be considered over. Maybe not certainly, but I think my pick for the best defensive assistant coach of the year would be him. I do think though, like you guys were saying, that Kubiak was just their offense was just so good, and there wasn't a huge personnel difference from this year to last year. New quarterback, but Sam Darnold, you had to keep him on the tracks, and he did more than that. And JSN, one of the best receiver seasons of all time. So
Mhm.
that's my answer, and I will shout out Josh McDaniels, obviously. Excuse me, but he inherited, one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. We got Stephon Diggs assigned with us, and we a couple slam dunk under the radar signings like Mac Hollins. But there is something also to be said about for 5 weeks our left side of the offensive line was out, and the rest of the year was both rookies. Um, so obviously he deserves some recognition, which he is getting because he is nominee. But I would say Clint Kubiak probably deserves to win. And I guess if I'm doing it by the book here, I will say he probably will win. But I wouldn't. I would also say my close runner up and someone else I was heavily considering is Vance Joseph.
Cool. All right, moving on to head coach of the year. Again, had to get creative with these pictures because they
All
don't
right.
really have headshots. Luke, you know the lore behind the
Oh my
Vrabel
gosh,
one.
dude,
Uh,
Mike Vrabel is like I can't tell if he's the least photogenic guy ever or the most photogenic. Like, yeah.
yeah.
And
Uh,
if you're listening to this one and not watching it, you're missing out.
yeah, I'd recommend watching this one. But anyways, nominees: Liam Cohen,
Yeah.
Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald, Kyle Shanahan, and Mike Vrabel. Luke, do you want to start this one out?
Yeah.
If not, it's okay.
Well, actually, I'm not gonna. I know actually who I think I'm going to say should win, but I haven't decided who I'm going to say is going to win. So I'm going to let one of you
Okay.
two jump me.
Mhm.
Dante?
It's tough for me too. I'm between two guys.
I'm
Um,
I'm ready if you guys need
I'll
to.
go for it. I
Okay.
think I honestly think Liam Cohen should win it. The what he's been able to do with the Jags, no one really saw the Jags being the division winner this season. At least I didn't. He made Trevor Lawrence play his best season he has in his career. That Jacksonville defense was also very, very good. Didn't really show up in the playoffs, but got to hand it to Liam Cohen in his first year with Jacksonville. But I think Ben Johnson will win it, and he is deserving. At least he is deserving of that also. I was going between him and Cohen, but then again, all of these guys are um, very deserving. I would argue Shanahan probably the least. That's just my opinion.
Hmm,
Um, I know that might be a hot take, but
a little
I thought
bit.
I thought McDonald was awesome, and I thought Vrabel, what he was able to do with the Pats was unexpected, even from Patriots fans. Like we saw
Yeah.
Luke's prediction earlier in the year. Like I gave him the benefit of the doubt of winning like I think 8 or 9 games, and Luke thought that was like too much. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Mike Vrabel should definitely be in the conversation. But out of these guys, I don't know. I think Shanahan might be the first one out for me. I don't know.
Fair enough. I'll jump in because I also want to say uh, that was my first phone call after we won the AFC Championship. My friend Joe, he called me and we were talking about it. I was like, I remember before the season, I was like, I'm pretty sure we can finish above Miami in the division.
Yeah.
Like we should be able to. So what a pipe dream the Super Bowl is.
Hmm.
But I am going to say that Ben Johnson should win the award.
Yeah.
Because you look at the rest of these guys, I think you're onto something with Liam Cohen especially. But let's look at the rest of that division. The Texans uh, rallied off 10 wins in a row. Very
Totally.
impressive. D'Amico Ryans could be up here himself. But outside of them, you have the Colts who I got the Danny Dimes injury, but they finished the year 1-7, so that was always a pretty flawed football team. And the Titans who are never going to do anything this year. And then you look at the Patriots. I love Mike Vrabel, obviously, but the Bills were just rolling out less and less talent every week. That caught up to them. The Jets were being the Jets. Justin Fields would have failed experiment. Aaron Glenn couldn't get the defense to get one pick. In Miami, the wheels finally came off. I would argue the most impressive job is Ben Johnson because you look at what changed year over year in that division. Pretty much just him, actually. Um, the difference between first place last year and did the Bears win the division this year?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
did, yeah. So you look at what changed in that division. Okay, Sam Darnold. But this isn't like a oh man, like your starting quarterback got hurt, poor Vikings thing. They let that man walk. So they bet on that. You look at what changed in that division year over year, the only meaningful um, domino to fall other than Sam Darnold, which was a choice, was Ben Johnson moving. And he didn't just jump some mediocre teams like I'm not gonna lie, Vrabel and Cohen did. And even the Cardinals and the other two guys. The Lions missed the playoffs. The Vikings were still competitive. They got to 9-8. And you see that quote there? At the end of the regular season, people clown Ben Johnson because he said before the year, "Oh, I'm going to kind of enjoy beating Matt LaFleur twice a year." He said that leading up in his press conference because he did so with the Lions. But he did beat LaFleur twice this year. That man did everything he set out to do. So I think Ben Johnson should win the award. I was actually thinking about saying that Kyle Shanahan would win it just because of how banged up they were and because of all he was able to accomplish this year.
That's fair.
Not a hot take.
But I think it will be Ben Johnson as well. I'm looking at the rest of these guys, two other first year head coaches. I think he's the most established, probably, other than Mike Vrabel. But let's not forget that voting ends before the playoffs start, and maybe they'll hold the schedule against him. I think the man who had to run through the most and the man who actually did the most was Mike Vrabel, or not Mike Vrabel here, even though he's in the Super Bowl. But I would give it to Ben Johnson, and I'm going to say I think he does win it.
Interesting. I'm gonna say it should and will be Mike Vrabel, actually.
All right.
Vrabel, to me, just really elevated this Patriots team. I mean, you look where they were before this year, back-to-back four-win seasons. They won 8 games in 2 years. We're talking about the final year of the Bill Belichick era and then the one forgotten year with Gerard Mayo. But you got to remember, Mayo had Drake May last year, and May was good, showed flashes, but this year elevated himself to what could be an MVP award. And Vrabel took this team to 14 wins. Number one, not
16
number one,
actually now.
sorry, number two seed in the NFC. The fact that he was able to get more wins in 1 year than the Patriots had in the last 2 years combined, and turn Drake May into what he is now. They're back in the Super Bowl. I mean, I know they probably vote on it before the playoffs, but I'd still give it to Vrabel. I think he absolutely deserves it. So,
Yeah. He has an argument. All these guys do.
all right, comeback player of the year. Now, every single year I say this, and I will say it again. There should be two different awards. Comeback player of the year should be for players that are coming back from injuries, and there should also be a most improved player. Players that, like Sam Darnold last year, like Geno Smith a couple years ago, Baker Mayfield the year in between. Those types of guys should get recognized too, but I rest my case. Hopefully, Roger Goodell's listening. But comeback player of the year nominees: Stephon Diggs, Aiden Hutchinson, Trevor Lawrence, CMC, and Dak Prescott. I will say this is my second to last, or my second, not second to last, my last should be nominee, not on this list. And y'all are gonna laugh. I don't care. I think it should be Philip Rivers. The fact that he was able to come back at what, 45, 44, however old he is. Did you see how out of shape he was when he played? And to actually look competent in like 3 games with that Colts team? I think it should be him. They give it to Flacco a couple years ago when he came off the couch and balled out for a couple games.
Ah,
Why can't they do the same for Philip Rivers?
because Philip Rivers didn't ball out. He was so cheeks, bro.
He was fine.
I disagree.
Okay,
I'm
well,
sorry. Not
he's
trying
not my
to.
will win if it makes you feel better, but I had to shout out Philip Rivers. I thought for how he was looking, how long, because here's the difference, right? Flacco was out of the game for a couple months. Philip Rivers was out of the game for 5 years. He hadn't played since the wild card game in 2021, the 2020 COVID season. But anyway, my will win is Christian McCaffrey. He had from what I remember and what I heard, second best season statistically of his career, coming off all the injuries he had last year. Yeah, no brainer for me. But I had to shout out my goat, Philip Rivers, even if y'all disagree.
Going back to Adam's
All
point,
right, bro.
Adam, Joe Flacco drugged the Browns to the playoffs,
I
man.
know, but
Philip Rivers didn't win a game. He played 3 games.
yeah, but
He
when
did
the
throw a cool
Colts
touch. He did throw a cool touchdown to Alec Pierce once.
when the Colts had no answers, he at least kept them in their game. Well, okay, maybe not the 49ers one, but
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know.
for my comeback player of the year prediction, I think it should and will be Christian McCaffrey. Like Adam said, second or third best statistical season of his career. Didn't get caught by the injury bug, at least I don't think. At least
He
something
did not.
catastrophic if he did.
He was the 149er to not get injured this year,
Yeah,
which is crazy, which is incredibly ironic.
yeah. But he was sick. He was awesome. Loved Christian, and he's much deserving of this.
Yeah, I fully agree. It should be him. Um, and this will be good. It'll reset the precedent for this award. Came back from a big injury and had a fantastic year. Arguably the best running back in the year, of the year. Stephon Diggs, a little bit of a shout out for me as a Patriots fan. Torn ACL comes back 1,000 years, 1,000 year, I believe, double-digit touchdown season. Everybody was doubting him, but absolutely, CMC is the obvious pick here.
For should and will for you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Moving on to some defense. We have the defensive rookie of the year. Our nominees for this one are Abdul Carter, shout out Penn State, Nick Emanwari of the Seahawks, James Pierce Jr. of the Falcons, who had a solid year, but don't forget, it's the guy that Atlanta traded their first round pick to get. Then you have Carson Schwarzenegger of the Browns and another Falcon, Xavier Watts. So I guess I'll start and I'll keep it short and sweet. Again, like the Protector of the Year award, didn't really know much about Depoy this year, but I'll go with the one name I heard day in and day out, should and will be Carson Schwarzenegger.
Okay, interesting. Um, for me, I think it will be Carson Schlesinger. He was a stud, insane tackler. That guy in the open field does not miss hardly ever. He is a insanely fast. Whenever he's blitzing any of the gaps, he's just a stud. But in my opinion, it should be Nicky Manwari. That dude is so underrated. He's been showing up in the playoffs like He's honestly, I think he's been one of the better, if not the best, defensive Seattle player in the playoffs. Like he was flying around in that Rams game, just such a stud. Love Nicky Manwari, and I think he should win it.
Before you go, Luke, I just gotta say, I remember watching night two of the draft last year, and this was back when everyone was so shocked Shador Sanders fell to night two, and everyone was thinking, "Oh, Cleveland's got the first pick of the night. They're going to take him. They're going to take him." And they picked Schlesinger, and I'm like, "Okay, who in the world is this guy?" But
He's good,
hey,
man.
ended up proving me wrong. Good for him. So, uh, Luke, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I will say I'm going to admit to not knowing much about any of these guys, although I will say
Which neither do I.
um,
So,
Abdul Carter feels like a bit of a disappointing first year.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
didn't hear his
for
name a heck
sure.
of a lot on a Giants team who was flooded with rookies whose name you did hear. So that says
Yeah.
something. And I will just kind of go with the polls here and go with Adam and go with Schlesinger. Although you were right, Dante, about I don't want to mispronounce his last name, Nick.
Eman
Uh,
Wari.
yeah, right. And I'm sure I'm gonna have to have my eyes on him in 10 days, but I'm just gonna go with the polls here for admitted ignorance and say Schlesinger.
Cool. Let's not spend too much time on this one. Defensive Player of the Year. Shout out the other nominees, but is this really a debate? Miles Garrett should win this unanimously.
Yes,
Anyway,
without doubt.
So,
Yep.
all right.
Should we just move on?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, broke the sack record, just insane.
And broke
Um,
the sack record in less snaps than everybody else right behind him.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolute stud. The only bright spot on that Browns team, besides Schlesinger.
Sure,
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, Miles Garrett, very good player. Can't even hate as a Steeler fan. Just unbelievable season.
Browns were
Did
sweet.
not get did not have a sack against the Steelers in either game though.
They they
Yeah.
they made sure of that.
They did.
I was going to
Um,
say Browns sweep the defense awards. But anyways, moving on to Offensive Rookie of the Year, where we've got some WG shout outs here with the nominees: Jackson Dart, Mecca Ibuka, Trevion Henderson, Tet McMillan, and Tyler Shuck. I'll let one of you guys start.
You,
Dante, your
oh, you
dog in
want me
this
to go?
race.
I could
What'd you
go.
say?
I could go if you
How
want.
about you go? Yeah.
Okay. So I think Tet McMillan is going to win it, but I think Travion Henderson should. I've been a Travion Henderson, watcher strictly because he was the RB1 on my fantasy team this year that I did win in, big thanks to him. He was such a stud. Did not get a shot until late in the year, but he was a touchdown machine for that Patriots team, both receiving and on the ground. Had multiple 60 plus yard touchdowns, which is just insane. Yeah, the guy's a stud. Also want to shout out Ibuka. Had a great first half, kind of fell off in the second half, unfortunately. Um, and then for Dart and Shuck, Dart was good, but I feel like after Scadabo got hurt, he kind of tailed off as well. And then Tyler Shuck was really good for relatively to what we were expecting from him. Yeah, in my opinion, he was the best rookie quarterback this year. I thought he was solid. But I think Tet will win, which once again, deservingly so. The guy is a stud. I honestly wish Leggett would open up more and develop better because that would just open up T Mac way more. But I think my boy Henderson should win it.
I'll jump in. I do want to shout out Henderson because let's look at this. I think if we had started using him from the beginning, he'd be the runaway favorite.
Yes.
Week one, 27 yards. Week two, 10 yards. 28, 32, 24, 27, 5. And then something happened on the 26th of October against the Browns. He got double digit carries, 75 yards. Next game, 55. Against the Buccaneers, 147 with a 69-yard run. Um, Jets, 62, 66, 6-7. And then Buffalo in that loss in that first half, 148 yards on the ground, 65-yard run. I believe he had two 50-plus yard bombs that game. And then Baltimore didn't use him. I think he was banged up, 82-53. Haven't really been using him in the playoffs. It's a bit of a coaching thing. I think he was being held back. That being said, Ramondre Stevenson has had some fantastic games this year. Not so much earlier in the year, but I'm going to roll out Henderson for those reasons. I'm going to roll out Dart. This is how I'm doing it. Because you're right, Dante. He showed some great flashes. He certainly had some good games earlier in the season, but he had a couple of really bad games down the stretch. I just don't think he did enough. I'm going to rule out Buka too. Again, he just tailed off the second half of the season. Probably more Baker's fault, but Mike Evans came back. Chris Godwin came back. He just didn't have the numbers. And I'm going to say that actually, I'm sorry, Adam. I think Tyler Shuck should win.
That's not ridiculous.
He was just really good.
Yeah, it's not ridiculous.
What record did he have this year? Was it not like 6-3 with the Saints or something?
They won 6 games,
He was
so
probably like 5-3 with the Saints or something. He was really good.
Yeah.
And and I was pro don't bench Spencer Rattler. I thought he did enough. I think you could find the tape on that. But he was really good, although I think that T Mac, if that's what we're calling him, is just as deserving, and I think he will win.
okay. Well, now yeah, looking over these guys for me. Henderson, love Travion, obviously. Showed some great moments this year, but just not consistent enough, unfortunately. I'm sure Luke can agree with that. Abuka, again, not consistent enough. Amazing start, but really tailed off at the end, whether that's his fault or not. Dart, honestly, liked what I saw from him this year, but you get to the guys at the bottom. I I'm not going to say it's ridiculous at all for you praising Tyler Shuck because he's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. I hate to say it. He really balled out this year, and I hate that I have to root against that guy. He beat us twice, and he looked amazing in both games. And it's going to be a pain having to go up against him in the near future. But all in all, I think it should and will be my guy, Ted McMillan. Call me biased all you want, but I'll have the stats here for you. 70 receptions, 1,014 receiving yards, most by a Panthers rookie since Kelvin Benjamin way back in 2014. Had 7 touchdowns. Yeah, I think it should and will be Tet, but I won't be surprised if Chuck gets some real consideration. But to me, it's definitely between those two.
Yeah.
Now for the offensive player of the year, where we've got a stacked list here. We've got Drake May, we've got CMC, we've got Bijan Robinson, and then, in my opinion, the two guys this award is between Puka Nakua and Jackson Smith and Jake Ba. Guys, let's debate it out. What do we think?
First of all, let me just say, what a fall from grace for Jonathan Taylor. This was his
Yeah.
award to lose, and he
Absolutely.
lost it.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy totally lost it.
Yeah.
I had the huge oh boy train for Jonathan Taylor going, and he made me look dumb.
Yeah,
Just did.
that he was the runaway favorite, and now he is not
Mhm.
even on the picture.
He was
Um,
having a historic season.
yeah,
And then he still had a good year, of course.
yeah.
I believe he finished over 1,000 yards. That'd be very
Yeah,
surprising.
it definitely did, but
Yeah.
But wow, yeah, insane.
yeah. Um, I know who I'm picking for this. I know who should win and who will win.
Go for it.
I'm feeling we're all probably on the same page. I think it's going to be JSN. You look at these two receivers here, both great years, but this is what we expected from Puka and JSN. What a historic breakout season. Um, he he is the offensive player of the year. When you think about it, he's the name that comes up, and he has the stats to back it up, and he's in the Super Bowl. So I think it absolutely should and will be him.
Couldn't agree more. Should and will be JSN. Just unbelievable.
I'm gonna clean sweep it here. JSN, what a year he had. Sam Darnold obviously was amazing, but wouldn't have been as amazing without JSN. Gotta shout out Puka Nakua though. A boss type year from him. Had the Rams finish better than the Seahawks during the regular season, made the Super Bowl. Maybe we'd be having a different conversation, but you could also argue those two guys are the number one and two receivers in the league right now.
Yeah.
But I was also, so I will say before we go to MVP, I was talking to Luke about this the other day. I don't know who's number one in the league for wide receiver, but I will say this. I think it's down to four guys, and if you gave me a case for either one of these four, I wouldn't call you ridiculous. And that's those two that I just mentioned, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. Those four.
I
If
think I think these two clear them right now, man.
Right,
and you
right
can
now they do.
definitely I think I'm agreeing with you with that. But If there was a Bengals fan out there that said Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the league, I'll tell you why. I'll say, okay, you're not ridiculous for it. You can even make the same case for Justin Jefferson. I get it, had a down year, but get that man a real quarterback and look at what he can do. You saw it with Darnold, you saw it with Kirk Cousins, but anyways, this isn't about them, it's about the other two guys. I do think those two are your one and two right now, but yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And lastly,
All
we have the
right.
MVP. I am just gonna say, okay, let's just go over the rest of the three nominees because I don't think the rest of the three guys are going to be in anybody's
Conserve your
showdown to
breath.
win. Josh Allen, last year's MVP, Trevor Lawrence, which crazy to see Trevor Lawrence up here.
He
Gotta give
deserves it more than Josh Allen.
and
Yeah.
then CMC just for the ungodly season he had. But we know, like Offensive Player of the Year, this is a two-horse race. Drake May, Matthew Stafford. Boys, let's break it down. Luke, you're the Pats fan. I want you to lead us off.
Drake May should win it. Matthew Stafford will win it, and I'll tell you why. Because the media is going to love Matthew Stafford. It's a legacy story. These are storylines. In every sport, MVP is a storyline. This guy has one or two more years left. He's going to win an MVP. He almost made the Super Bowl. It's going to be another notch on his belt. Dan Orlovsky, his buddy, who has a vote, who had said years ago in official articles, yeah, I would never do anything to not bolster up my guy Matt Stafford. He backed up after crapping the bed as a starting quarterback for a year and going winless with Calvin Johnson. That guy has a vote. I should have a vote. And it would go to Drake May. Let's look at the stats. I have everything pulled up. First of all, against common opponents, because we love to talk about the schedule so much. Drake May versus Matt Stafford played six of the same teams this year: Carolina, New Orleans, Tennessee, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, and Atlanta. Against those teams, Matt Stafford, or Stat Padford, or whatever you want to call him, went 4 for 2 with 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. And -10 rushing yards, by the way, but people will tell you that doesn't matter. Drake May beat all of those teams. 69% passing yards, 1,500, 69% passing, 1,500 passing yards, slightly less touchdowns, 14 to 13. That's going to be a sticking point. And 3 interceptions, 3 less turnovers, and 250 rushing yards and a touchdown on the ground. People are going to tell you that doesn't matter, by the way. So let's look at the stats zoomed out. And I don't have them in front of you guys. I have them in front of me. So I'm sorry about that. Drake May won 16 games this year, 13 before the voting. Matt won 11 before the voting. Passing yards, Stafford has him slightly beat, 4,400 to 4,200. Let's not forget the rushing yards. Drake May, 409. Matt Stafford, anybody want to guess?
29.
Oh, all right, let me put it this way. Is the number positive or negative?
It's but should be positive.
Adam, do you think Matt Stafford rushed for positive or negative yards this year?
Stafford at age like 38?
Po- Listen, the bar is mathematically as low as it gets.
I'm gonna
Positive.
guess he had like 200 at the most. I don't know.
He had -2 passing yard or rushing yards this year.
That's not surprising though.
Drake made 409. People are going to tell you that doesn't matter. Because, why? Because Matt Stafford, 11 more passing touchdowns. I think these are week 17 numbers. Doesn't matter. The tone's the same. Matt Stafford, 11 more passing touchdowns. This sucks. It's the only reason Matt Stafford has an argument. And you want to know why people call him Stat Padford? Anybody want to guess how many of those touchdowns were from 1 yard? I'll take guesses.
For Stafford,
Yep. You
over
might guess, Adam.
50%.
Not 50%, but anybody want to guess how many 1 yard passing
How,
touchdowns
how
Stat
many
Pat
did he
had?
have again?
I think the number is 45. I think these are old numbers in front of me.
I'm gonna
I think he
say
had 45.
18.
That's
Actually, I think I know the answer, but go ahead.
1 yard passing touchdowns. Uh, He had 15 of them.
Oh, was it 15?
15
Did I?
1 yard.
Oh, I said 18.
Yeah. He had 19 passing touchdowns from within the 10-yard line. This man and everybody who was calling the plays for him is a stat patter, ladies and gentlemen. They He had 4 touchdown passes in week 18 with their spot locked up against the Cardinals. They beat those guys by like 3 scores. He had 4 passing touchdowns. They were all they were all from the 1 yard line. This is some nasty, nasty work being done. This man, Matt Stafford, is a stat patter.
Stop it, Luke.
And that touchdown count alone is going to lose Drake May his first and rightful MVP, despite the fact Drake May had a better record on a worse team with more all-purpose yards, almost the same amount of, okay, not quite the same amount of touchdowns. We just went over that. The same amount of turnovers, higher complete. Okay, third highest completion percentage in NFL history, by the way.
Yeah.
He had a higher completion percentage than Tom Brady ever had. Okay, um, highest passer rating in the league. One Pro Bowl teammate, Matt Stafford had four. Um, highest expected points added per play. I don't know. He had zero point 0.3 points added per play. Matt Stafford had 0.24. I don't really know what all that means, but all of these numbers are in the green, guys, for Drake May. This man, the schedule this, schedule that, common opponents. Touchdowns, who cares? Let's look at how many rushing yards the Patriots had, rushing touchdowns. They had many more than the Rams. The Rams just handed the ball off less. Four 1 yard touchdowns against the Cardinals in week 18. This is an organized effort to gift an old guy one last parting gift in his career, which is blinking and the lights are shutting out. He's watching the Super Bowl from home, while the other guy, the rightful MVP, is sitting in Santa Clara in the locker room waiting to win his first Super Bowl in what should be his first MVP season. The rightful winner is Drake May. The voters are going to pick Matt Stafford.
Can I go next?
I was gonna suggest you do because I feel like you have a lot you want to say.
It
Let me
should
just-
and it
Yeah.
should and will be Matt Stafford. Um, I love Drake May. He's great.
Yeah.
But
All
look,
right. Okay. Good.
you
Good.
keep bringing up four touchdowns against the Cardinals, acting like the Cardinals are a bad team, which
I,
they are. After I hate to bring this up, Luke, but the Patriots have had the easiest regular season schedule since whatever Rams team that was, like in the 90s.
yeah.
You cannot say that Matthew Stafford was playing against lesser opponents and had four touchdowns, given they're from the one, whenever the Patriots had
No
such an
way,
easy
bro.
schedule.
Okay.
You know that's
All right.
true.
If
I
you
just
if you're if you can't look at who he's playing against, look at who he's playing with. We're talking about most valuable. If Drake May, okay, if Drake May had Sean McVay calling the play calls with
sure.
Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, that man would have had 70 touchdowns.
Matthew Stafford's also in his late 30s, still balling out
He's
like he's in
looking as
his
good as, yeah, I
mid
know. He's
20s.
looking, if if we're talking about age, let's just not discount what he is. He's looking as good as he's ever looked. So, and Drake May is in his second year. What's
Of
age to
course,
experience?
this is not me trying
Yeah.
to take anything away from
No,
Drake
I
May.
know. I'm
I
this
think he's
is
great.
a live moderated debate. Thank you, Adam. Um okay, and fine. Schedule common opponents. I, I get all the arguments, and I don't even hate that he had four touchdowns. Good for him. All from the 1 yard line. You could have handed
That's
those balls
fair,
off.
but that's fair, but he also got them down there.
Yeah.
And I will say, fact check, Matt Stafford actually had 15 more touchdowns than Drake May this year. Um,
Are
and
you okay? Are you looking at just passing touchdowns?
okay, fine. Just passing
I
touchdowns.
think the number's 11.
Okay.
I
If we're
still
counting,
bet.
I didn't know we were counting all-purpose touchdowns.
We are certainly counting all purpose touchdowns.
That's fine. Then it's 11.
I just
But
think
then
eight
again,
eight wins in 2 years.
if we're counting passing touchdowns, take away all of his passing touchdowns from the 1 yard line, he would have as many as Drake May.
Yeah, and that's a completely fair argument. But then
I
we look at every other box, and
Except for passing yards, he had 400 more passing yards. He had more
okay,
passing yards per game. He had 20
less
more passing
all-purpose
yards per
yards.
game.
Period.
Okay. It's close.
It's
But
close.
for
Okay, so
me,
fine. You take away those 1 yard touchdowns, of which I'm sure May had a few.
the
You
biggest
take away,
argument
yeah,
the biggest argument I see for Drake May and the
yeah,
most impressive stat is the 72% completion percentage. That's ridiculous.
unheard of. And
That's
let's
absurd.
let's look at like balls that traveled more than 20 feet, 20 yards in the air.
Oh, dude, yeah, 72% completion percentage on 8.9 yards per attempt.
It's on. He will go down as the best deep ball passer in NFL history. I don't, dude. He's going to. All right. On.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Okay. On
I love
passes that
this.
traveled more than 20% in the air, Drake May was completing over 50% of them.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a beast. But second year in NFL history, I mean, dude, Russell Wilson in his prime was godly.
Yeah, I don't. He never had 72% from
That's fair. That's
a
fair.
pop though.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
dude.
that's my argument, and I'm sure we'll never get that.
Dude, that's what I'm here. I'm actually so glad he didn't just say, "Yeah, I love Drake May," because I love Drake May, but I wanted a little bit of that rebuff, and I got it,
Yeah.
and I still stand by my position. But you're bringing up some points that I frankly just can't argue
Yeah.
because he does have 11 less touchdowns, and that's just what it's going to be. It sucks, but that's just what it's going to be, and he's going to lose the MVP because of that and because of the narrative, and because
Drake
Dan.
May is going to win multiple MVPs in his career. It's
Yeah, I
going
know,
to at
but
least one. But
dude, there's no. I mean, I know I'm feeling on top of the world right now, but Dan Marino never got back to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow never got back to the Super Bowl, never won an MVP. Lamar Jackson might never win an MVP again. Um,
well,
Aaron Aaron
Lamar's never
Rodgers
getting
only
to a
won
Super
one Super Bowl. Like this kind of success in the second year is certainly an indicator, but no guarantee of anything down the road. So that's why I just do not want this MVP to be robbed from him, but it's gonna happen. So Adam, I'll let you speak.
I gotta clap it up for you guys. That was awesome.
Bowl.
I
Yeah.
should call the Academy and give them a late Oscars nomination for Best WG Debate 2025 with Luke winning Best Actor and Dante winning Best Supporting Actor. That was awesome. I guess I'll keep mine
That was
short and
an
sweet.
underhanded agreement with me there.
I guess I'll keep it short and
You hear
sweet
that? You're a
because
supporting actor, Dante, by the way. Go
meaning
ahead.
like
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
meaning like if you're talking about Oppenheimer, Luke's Cillian Murphy and Dante's Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, I mean,
But
Yeah. Well, they both ran away with the awards, man.
I don't know. I'll keep mine short and sweet because it's the same as one of yours. I do think Drake May should win this. Fantastic year, but I do think it will be Matthew Stafford. Like Luke said, they're going to really favor the
Yeah.
touchdown. It reminds me of something because nobody would ever entertain this debate, but I remember a solid 2 months ago, I was sitting in my bed writing a Com Radio article for the club I'm in. Shout out Com Radio, ranking the top five Big Ten quarterbacks. And besides passing touchdowns, Julian Sayin was better than Fernando Mendoza and everything else. But Mendoza got the Heisman because of those passing touchdowns. But
All right,
that's
brother.
that's neither here or there because Mendoza showed why he deserved that Heisman.
Way to
Uh,
make it about yourself there, buddy.
I know. Yep. Give me the get in there and make it about you award. But
Yeah.
Stafford, unlike Mendoza, won't have the opportunity to show why he is the MVP on the Super Bowl stage. Where I want to shout out another good friend of ours, Josh Knapp, um, listener of the pod, has come on the pod, as we know. Last year, this reminds me last year when the NBA MVP was a thing between Nikola Jokic and SGA. Even though SGA got the ring and the MVP, he told me, hey, who cares about the MVP as long as you get the championship, which is true. I mean, you want Drake May to win MVP, but if he gets a Super Bowl ring, that's Stafford can't say that this year. Who cares? Almost in an essence, because yeah, Drake May just won the title, but I wouldn't be too concerned if I'm a Pats fan if Stafford wins the MVP because, like you said, Stafford's what 38, 37. This is like one of his last chances. Drake May's in his second year. He has a whole career to win MVPs. Not saying it shouldn't be Drake May for that reason, but yeah, I don't know. I'm running out of words here. Should be May, will be Stafford, but I don't know.
There you have
I wish I would have just came out the gates just like spewing Trevor Lawrence propaganda. He should win.
it. He has the longest hair.
It should be
I'm
Bryce
glad
Young,
we
but
can
it's
all
all you
agree
want.
that Josh Allen is just like
No.
a here, there you go nomination. I'm excited, obviously, to see who we'll know before the Super Bowl, right? Um,
Yep.
yeah, we'll see. Doesn't matter to me because we're the ones playing in it. So,
Yep.
Anyways,
oh my gosh.
previewing the next week, we've got the most fun episode of the year on the ledger here.
Oh
That
my
kind of gives
gosh.
you a hint of some stuff we'll be talking about. Luke, I don't know if you could see your picture, but if you move the
Yeah, I
screens
can
with all
see
of
it.
us, we've got Bowler Luke Peter Zach here, back in the old days.
I
We've
think
got yeah. Anyway, go ahead,
the
Luke.
pizza slice team. Do you want to? Does Dante know what that top left picture is?
I don't.
It's for
Adam, do you want to?
commercial. That was just an example for commercial. You ever seen an Allstate commercial where it's like, um, I saved hundreds with Allstate, But what I shouldn't have done is yell "Go Dogs" at my boss during the
Oh,
Like
yep,
meeting.
yep, yep,
Georgia
yep.
barked at
Go
at my
Dogs!
boss.
Woo!
Yep.
Sick 'em. One of my favorite commercials. My mom hates it, which is why I love it so much.
Yeah.
Also love the Currents record. Like that's sick.
Amazing record. Hot take. I like Slow Rush a little better, but
Isn't that
Currents is
because Adam,
awesome.
you picked Tame Impala as a Super Bowl performer?
I did the one year. I think it was the one year we recorded in the Beaver
Yeah.
apartment or in the Beaver dorm room,
That
and you
was a
guys were like
yeah.
shocked that I knew who Damon Impala was. You were like, "Wow, what a great poll!" And I was
I'm
like,
gonna have a
"Oh,
niche poll for Super Bowl halftime this year, I think.
I gotta think
I
about it
believe
because
it. I
I've
gotta.
expanded my music horizon." So
I
all
think I'm gonna
right,
have the most boring pool ever, actually. But
that'll be next week. But we thank y'all for tuning in
I
tonight.
have a special surprise planned for next week. These guys don't get to know what it is. So,
All right.
Drake May special guest.
I mean, I am in bed.
Ew.
So, all right.
All
All
right.
right.
Fun episode. Ran a little long. Who cares?
Fun episode. I enjoyed the discourse. We are your hosts, Adam.
Dante.
And Luke.
We'll catch y'all next week. Enjoy the NFL honors.